Okay, a longer video update, but oh Lord, excuse me. Let me thank me. Whew. I am still trying to figure out what's going on with my back. Sneezes hurt, and a couple other things are like excruciatingly painful, but pain medicine only masks the pain and makes me go to sleep, so it's not really an effective treatment. I am not wanting to see the orthopedist, so because I feel like that's a surgical intervention and I'm not really prepared for that. But I'm going to work on it. And yeah, accepting the process of possibly having a disability because I am definitely differently abled. But God is good. God is in control. Everything that's going on. I have a lot of stuff. Yeah, I posted a video about how many tabs I have open in my brain at all times. So I posted a lot of stuff, made a lot of promises, made a lot of commitments. I wrote them all down. So I will honor them. I do. Old school, still write notes, still journal, still, I'm still signed up for Just Jazzy's, boot camp that starts on March the 1st. I, am following those instructions. I have to today set up a Discord channel, and all of these things that are really simple to people who use social media and engage on social media and um, are prevalent. Like social media is a prevalent experience in their life. That's not me. So I am breaking norms, forming new traditions, creating new processes in order to do this. That's why I'm trying to share it as a vlog more than a influencer or content creation. I know everything is content. I understand and appreciate that. But I'm trying to share it from the perspective. I'm trying to adjust the light. I'm trying to share from the perspective of a 50 plus. I'm 54 years old. A 50 plus um, vlogger, content creator, influencer, social media participant, engager, um, from the perspective of my professional experience, my lived experience, because I am a connector. I do try to connect opportunities to resources, and I'll have people reach out to me for that, not just my clients, but friends, family members, even people in my community. If I see somebody providing a service, like I met a young man who does epoxy floors. Shout out if anybody need their floors done. Put a note in the comment. I'll hook you up. But and he has his business done. He has his certifications, MBE, WBE, well, MBE, um, Minority Business Enterprise. WBE is a women's business enterprise. A lot of people in my community have both of those certifications, but there's a lot of work that is assigned by contract, by use agreement, and by development agreements. And he's wanting to be able to be subbed on those types of. So since I know that and know something about it, I was able to take his information. Not only, like, I'm the type of connector, like, not only will I help you promote your business, get you business. Like, if I know somebody that's wanting their garage floor done, I'll plug you. I'll connect y'all, but if I also know if there's a Creo or a CLT or a development opportunity, or even somebody selling a house, that can benefit from your services, or there's a contractor who has some of the prime contracts, or even a subcontractor they may have an excavation contract, and knowing that a few months down the line flooring is going to come in, I'll connect you. So that's what I will naturally do, what I organically do, because I believe and I've seen and I've experienced some businesses and some business owners um, gain opportunities to not only develop their business, but to be able to create success that they then reinvest back into the community. So the community benefits. And that's the type of growth I hope to sustain so that I can pour that back into my community. I'll do another video about the land trust, but I do serve on the board of the Kansas City Community Land Trust. Land trusts are a great opportunity to reinvest, access to generational wealth, to ownership, to property ownership. The land trust owns the land, but it is a tool to be able to access our 40 acres. And we got to get our own mule. But it is a tool to access, and I appreciate the opportunity. Everything that I have learned, am learning, will learn about development, about property management, about property ownership through my work with the land trust, even caring for the orchard. I mulched and fertilized some trees, y'all. I'll post a video about that too, because it's a lot of fun. A very pleasant, healthy. It's healthy to be connected to the land, to earth, to grow, to the process, the circle of life. Speaking of being connected to that, so in my tax education business that I provide, I had the opportunity to meet with one of my clients. Some of my clients are seniors or older clients. The software that I tutor them in, is giving a message this year whenever anybody, like when I signed into my own account, congratulations on blah blah blah, however many years. So some of my clients, they said congratulations on 20 plus years. Well, this particular client, elder, I'm grateful that she's an elder still, not an ancestor. And this particular client had I'm sorry, that's some information I'm going to share in what prompted me to do this video. But it said congratulations on 14 years. And so we started, chit-chatting, reminiscing. I appreciate the wisdom that she shared, the prayer over me and my family. And we talked about low maintenance relationships. Some of my clients that feel like family are some of my clients who have been returning for over a decade. We see each other once a year, and some I see out in community. We wave, we say hello, we have some types of interaction throughout the year, but not really like engagement. But there's never any condemnation. There's never any expectation, or there's never any disconnect. Like, why haven't I talked to you in a year? Da da da. And I'm grateful that I have built the reputation, and I am considerate of everybody's right to privacy. I'm probably overly considerate of the value of my own right to my privacy and my information, and protect my financial information. So I don't discuss even with other clients who other clients are. Like, some of my clients know, yeah, they've been coming to me for 15 years. Their mom comes to, or their sister comes, but they don't know that from me. They know that from another resource, because I don't feel like I feel like everybody can go where they go, and that's not something that you discuss. Like, you might discuss with your family about your doctor's visit, but you might not introduce your family to who your doctor is. So it's that kind of, and maybe because of HIPAA compliance and HIPAA research, I take it to that extreme. But yeah, it's not really extreme. It's just considerate of their privacy. But no, none of my clients have ever taken that in a um, offensive way. Like we see each other once a year. Yep, at least once a year we see each other, and that's the way it is with some of my family members. My actual DNA, we got our grandmas and grandpas was brother and sister. I mean, not brother and sister married to each other, but my grandpa's uh, brothers and sisters, grandchildren, and my grandma's brothers and sisters, grandchildren. Uh, we all, yeah, we all stay connected. But I don't, and some of them we just engage annually, at least once a year. So I always appreciate that. That being said, because I don't know, I give that information because I'm trying to stop sharing things as if everybody who watches this blog already knows me and already knows these things. So I'm trying to bring the connections forward. So that being said, because I have a lot of clients, because I have a lot of family members who are clients, I have a lot of clients. And I kind of keep it, the relationship separate because, yeah, I feel like it's proprietary and everybody's right to privacy, which is important to me. I still got to update the blog on my hair because, yeah, I got to redo the recolor, adding color, because the lifting was too serious, but I digress. The vlog today. So, not watching the news. Shout out, prayers, condolences to everyone who is mourning and grieving the loss, and respect to the Reverend Jesse Jackson. My saying is your vote is your protest. So please make sure you're registered to vote. Please don't be distracted by the quote unquote SAVE Act, the conversation about trying to federalize elections. Elections are state, local, and state run because they have to have local control because only the people in the community and of the community know who's in the community and eligible to vote. But y'all see how y'all, I don't know if this is the Antichrist, but some of the wisdom that I was talking about, one of my elder clients shared, if he is not the Antichrist, he is the preparation for. He's preparing the way. Because he definitely ain't got it's just no light, no love, no remorse, no consideration, no thought. It's just all mean and nasty, ugly, disgusting, cruel, foul. It's just, ugh. Yeah, it's, ugh. God is in control. So I say that with my chuckle because I always try to find the opportunities to insert joy. I do not absorb that negativity. I try to reject it, push it away from me, move it away from me, even away from my thoughts. So I make the gesture, shake it off, rub it off, roll off like water off a duck's back. That's part of the reason that I don't watch the news, but I do believe his banner over us is love. God is in control. God is sovereign, and his banner over us is love. God's promises are yes and amen. God got it. God is taking care of us. God is taking care of it. God is taking care of things. Everything, these trials that you're going through, God's going to show you just what to do. You can make it. That's a song I'm sure you'll hear me hum or sing or moan at some points if you're following along. But yes, I don't care what's going wrong. God won't let it last too long. You're not in this thing alone. You can make it. With that being said, before I close out this video, the ultimate hot topic. Is the government shutdown shutting down the IRS? Is the IRS not operating, not functional during the shutdown? Is DHS not being funded, directing or affecting tax refunds or the IRS operating? I'm sure at some basic level, on the basic, just by math, there are less IRS employees. So there is less ability for productivity because fewer hands do less work than more hands. That's just the bottom line. And we saw, everybody remember, go back to January when Musk X, Tex X, whatever whoever, the probably real Antichrist was dodging, cutting, dismissing, dispelling, closing, disrupting, creating chaos. Look over here. A lot of the department was cut. And here locally, in my community, we have a processing center. But not just here local, in this local processing center in Nashville, in Utah, and Cincinnati, in South Carolina. There are processing centers that staff was cut, and everybody knows this. Federal staff was cut all across the country from everywhere. So yes, there are less workers. However, the IRS, the IRS is not the Department of Commerce. It's the Department of Treasury. So in order for even during a shutdown, the Department of the Treasury doesn't shut down. Nothing happens to the deficit. Everything that needs to get paid still gets paid. And your tax refund is a part of the commerce. So it's a part of the exchange. Your payroll doesn't stop. So your payroll withholdings don't stop. And so your refund won't stop. I know that it's a lot of things that I could say or explain, or a lot of websites that I could direct you to, a lot of information I can give you. But I know in our community, people just want to know, what does that mean? Because somebody is reporting on the news, and somebody started some type of trend on TikTok, because I woke up on Sunday and Monday, which was a holiday, to quite a few inquiries about, well, is this something going on with I already posted a video about the PATH Act, the PATH Act protecting Americans against tax hikes, PATH, has been in place since 2015. Nobody but Barack Obama did it. No, Congress did it, because y'all know they didn't let Barack really do nothing. But yeah, Congress did. Mitch McConnell really did it, but it was expressed as an address to like refund anticipation loans, predatory lending, and consumerism, and taking advantage of poor working class people who are waiting on their tax refund and are willing to do almost anything, including pay thousands of dollars for a 2-week, maximum 3-week loan on their own money. Your refund is just your money that you earned in employment wages that was collected to ensure your your earned income is taxed according to the tax code and according to the tax schedule. So when you reconcile that, when you submit your tax return and say, I made this much money, but I did this, but this is what I did with it. I ran a household. I started a business. I contributed to a nonprofit. I paid my property tax. When you tell the government that this is what I did with that money, and then you apply the tax code to those portions of that money that remain taxable or become deductible from tax, that's your refund. It's still your money, same dollars you earned. So the PATH Act was put in place to protect to protect people from those like refund anticipation loans, and we'll double your bring us your W-2 and we'll double your down payment from your if you give us $3,000 from your refund, and all of those kinds of things. And now I believe God is in control. So I believe I've seen the benefits from, had the PATH Act not been in place in 2020, when there was in 2020 when there was a stimulus, and in 2021 when there were stimulus and recovery rebate credits, um, and even when there were, even with the PATH Act in place for several years by that time, there were still some people whose stimulus automatically went to a old uh, block account or emerald account, or somewhere that their refund had been set to go to by direct deposit, because their tax service provider had put in their information first for them to get paid first, and then the client, the taxpayer, to receive what was left, the remaining balance. So it messed up a lot of people's accounts. People's stimulus went to other people. It was a lot. So I'm not saying the PATH Act is a good or bad thing. I'm not saying trust or don't trust God. That's what I'm saying. Don't trust nobody but God. But I am saying that the PATH Act has been in place. Nothing about that has changed. One of the requirements of the PATH Act is that refunds that include the earned income tax credit and the child tax credit, an additional child tax credit is called AITC and EITC. That those credits not be paid before mid-February. It was actually like February 15th, but if February 15th was on a holiday or a weekend, it would be the next business day following the 15th. So this year that ended up being the 17th. But it does not mean that your refund is delayed or held. It just means that, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong or any issue with your refund. It's just that the system is not going to process refunds when it sees the code that there is a AITC or EITC attached to this return. It's not going to process those returns until after mid-February. So I used to have clients that would file the first day of tax season, or they would actually have all their stuff in and start asking me questions. Is this it? Is this everything? They would have everything ready. Like, what day can I press send? And those clients, for those early filing clients, they will receive their refund back the first week of February. And I'm sure there were people who did it even earlier than that, because there were things like refund anticipation loans, and some people at the end of the year in December for the holidays would go to a tax service provider and get $1,000 of their refund to be able to use for the holidays. So that's what the PATH Act was put in place to protect people from, because they would pay $1,000 to get that $1,000 of their own money. So I'm grateful for people winning, not being God. So I am grateful for that part. However, God had to do it. I'm a render under Caesar what is Caesar's type of person, but I do understand the systems that are in place to keep certain members of our community at a disadvantage, and some members of our community perish for a lack of knowledge. So that's the reason that I try to share, and educate and inform. But the system is the system. The system is in place. IDRS is the system. It is the Department of Commerce. It's the Department of Agriculture. It's the Department of Treasury. The Internal Revenue Service is simply a service entity that applies code, the tax system, tax structure, IRS systems that are in place. They are in place to implement a code across the country. They're not a, There are entity of the Department of Treasury. They have other entities. I don't want nobody looking for me, but yeah, they have other parts, other arms. But people just, I even have clients like, I don't play with the I, the R, the S. I'm like, the I, the R, the S is just reading rainbow. It's just yeah, it's just a statute, a code, a policy, a process, and yeah, the application of that are it's just letters and numbers, y'all. I know it doesn't seem that way because of all of the stigma and the fear based uh, attached to it and attached around it, but it actually like frustrates me and sickens my stomach that people in my community pay more taxes than the leader of the country, and that's just the truth. Cause they've been done figured it out. They've been done figured out how to apply the code to the letter of the code and remain compliant. He said it. He said it on national TV. Don't be mad at me because I know how to. Yeah. So, an overpayment is its own punishment, is what I tell people. Don't perish for a lack of knowledge. So, all that to say, because this video is getting long and I'm still not good at editing it, refunds are being paid. I actually had I still don't know how to turn this camera around. I actually had to keep looking at my screen because I had a refund status on the screen. Everybody knows you can go to irs.gov. Where's my refund? If you've already filed, if you're checking on your filing. I've seen several messages. One is your refund is in process, and then it refers to the PATH Act, says check back in mid to late February. I've seen another status that says your refund is being processed and it can take up to 21 days. I've seen another status that said we received your everything and your refund is in process, and then it explains the PATH Act and the 21-day processing and says to check back, and the system updates once a day. I've even seen a message that said you checked too many times, so don't. This is the people screenshot me on. Why is it saying this? How many times have you checked? It only updates once a day. But people use different mechanisms because you can sign up for email alerts, you can do text alerts, you can download an app for to check on your refund status, but all of those are connected to the exact same system that everybody is TikToking and Instagram and Reels and whatever posting about, saying our refunds are going to be late, refunds are going to be delayed. I haven't seen any official notice on the IRS website that refunds are going to be delayed. Yes, there are fewer people processing, but once your return is in the system, it's, for the most part, unless there's something flagging your return for review, it's being processed in the system. It's going to stay in the system. It's not going to come out unless something on your return tells the system to, get a human being and have them, this needs a tax review. Then it's going to come out. And that could be anything. It could be anything from a transposed number in your social security number. You might not have checked, you might have changed the address, but you didn't check the address were changed from as previously. It could be something really simple. Because as I said, it's just code. And the system just says, this is different from this, and this box isn't checked, or this is different from this, and there's no indication as to why. It will just say review it. Even then, Your return doesn't necessarily come out of the system. It goes to a tax examiner who gets a batch of those so that they can look and compare and see. Maybe you type the 8 where a 9 normally goes, or any of those things, a 0 where a 9 normally goes. They recognize and understand transposed numbers, and for the most part the system will make that correction. But if you did something like unreported income, left off a document, or left off an amount, then it's going to go through that initial reviewer, and then that reviewer is going to say, this is not something that I can see in the system, where can send a letter and show the correction and self-correct. It has to go to an examiner. So simple changes that the system can correct, and they have a code for everything. It's a reviewer, and the reviewer can approve or amend within the system a certain code for those types of simple corrections, or an examiner, which means it gets pulled out of the system, which means your return is interrupted, your return processing cycle is interrupted. That will generate a message like when you check where's your refund, it'll say it's being processed. Then it'll add something like it could take up to 21 days if you filed on paper. And the reason that it'll generate that message is because it's being examined. It won't tell you that it's being examined, but that's just how the system works. But refunds are being processed. And even though the auto-generated message explains or describes that due to the PATH Act, refunds will not be paid. Refunds with the earned income tax credit and additional child tax credit will not be paid before February 17th, and they're expected to be deposited by March the 2nd. There are some returns that are already being processed. They started yesterday on the 17th, and they already have a refund, and it's an expected refund date of the earliest that I have seen is the 19th, which may be a refund that has been sitting there for a while, just waiting for the maturity date of the 17th so that they can be so that it can be processed. And now that it's in process, it's already scheduled for payment. Now this is a refund that's being paid by direct deposit. It's already gone through the system. Even with less employees, even with fewer employees, and even with staffing at the levels that it is, the return for the most part is processed in the system, and the system is already set to do everything that it was supposed to do, shutdown or no shutdown. It's like even if there's a shutdown and then the federal workers have to work for free and then collect their back pay, it's that type of situation. So I just wanted to report and reassure, confirm, and share. I have seen for myself the refund status of your refund has been processed. Your refund has been received. That's the first bullet. Your refund has been approved. That's the second bullet. And your refund is expected to be paid by direct deposit with a date. Then that's after that date, it'll change to the final bullet of refund paid. But most people don't go back and check their status after they already got their money, because by the time you would see that status change, your money's already in the bank. So yes, it is happening. If there are some delays, it's something different than just your normal return process in the system. Everything goes through the system smoothly. The IRS does process refunds in batches. So but it's your money, so they're not waiting on the money from anywhere. They already took it from you, so they got it to pay you back. They the the batches run by the system. So it's just it's a geographic. It's not by your last name. It's not by the digits of your social security number. It's literally geography. How the batches are processed. And yeah, but they are being processed. The system is up and running. It's working. I even had a call this morning that, oh, it's saying where's my refund is down. It's not working. And so I was like, you're just probably at like a clogged part in the system. It's the 18th. People have been waiting since the 17th to see what their status is. You know how you guys are on social media, different people, not you guys, but you know how some people are on social media with the yeah, I saw the such and such and such and such and such, and people have already started getting their state refunds. Some people have had their state refunds for a couple weeks now, and so they're feeling like, yeah, I already spent that little change, few $100s, and now they're ready for their refund to be paid. And then they're watching the news, and when you know what they say, a watch pot never boils. The Everything is in place. The pot is on the stove, the heat is on, everything is running according to plan. Don't disrupt the flow of what is already on its way to you. And that can be a lesson for at tax time, or all through the year, or for your life. Manifest abundance and ease. Focus on the ease. Get out of your own way. Expect it. It's already yours. So when it's in your hands, it's just the manifestation of you receiving what is already yours. Whoo, thank you. That'll preach. I received that. And I haven't even processed my own. I don't have nothing in there in the system, y'all. Not my stuff yet. I gotta hope do business better, Black people. That's a whole different issue. But I definitely, believe and receive that. It's already yours. It's on its way to you. When you have it in your hands, it's the manifestation of that. But I received the confirmation. I have seen it, read it, experienced it for myself, even though it was somebody else's information, but seeing for myself, it's working. Be encouraged.